I'm Susan Donnelly, and I'm going to read a poem called Chanson on the Red Line. The heart opens in such unlikely places, a subway platform muffled in February, the train late, no one looking at anyone else. Then a song begins, Parlez-moi d'amour, like a pink ribbon unwinding from the young black man with guitar whose throat trembles, who holds his head back, eyes half closed. We each look down into our own longings, familiar as the stations we daily travel, pressed up against strangers. Slowly we come forward to drop our thanks into his open case. We are shy, we don't want to be noticed, wanting so much. Yet, who are we? Let me tell the truth for once. I walked here quickly through the dark street, a middle-aged woman carrying 2 bags. I wore a black and white cloak of impossibilities that smoked like dry ice. I am waiting here, fresh from that swift and peopled solitude. I can love anyone. The inspiration behind this poem was really that it actually happened. I was doing my usual commuting on the T in the wintertime, in the cold, and the music struck a chord in me, and I could see that was happening in the other people around me. I'm a poet who writes a number of poems about urban life and working life. And I was just struck by the way a public action like that, the musician in the tea, could sort of suddenly warm and bind people together who were strangers. And I was also struck by my own vulnerability, because I believe it's a humble poem. In the middle of it, I suddenly say, instead of speaking in a group, I say, but who are we? Let me tell the truth for once. I, not just these people around me, I am as vulnerable, as ready to love, as needy, as easily moved. I'm one of the crowd here. I chose the style of the poem because I usually do write in free verse, although I sometimes write in formal verse. So to me, though, the style, though in a pretty standard, I suppose, free verse style, to me, in my conservative way, that was a great revolutionary happening that I chose to break the poem at that point. So it was quite key to me, that poem. I was telling myself that I had to work harder to tell the truth. I think the poem is a poem about color. If I were an abstract artist, I would call it a study in black, white, and red. You know, it's the red line, it's the line to the heart, also red. It's the black man, it's the white woman, as it happens to be. It's dark winter, it's dry ice, which conjures up this whiteness and sort of cloudy magicness. And that's what I'd put in my abstract painting if I were doing it. Looking at it again recently, I realized that that the pink ribbon that comes out of the man's mouth when he begins to sing, or something like a pink ribbon, is a warming up to the warmth that is going to occur as the poem goes on and the heart is more directly reached. I also wanted to mention that when I say the word stations, the stations we daily travel, I had in mind the stations of the cross, not only Central Square, Kendall Square, Park Street, etc., you know, but a stations of the cross sort of feeling that we, all of us as commuters and just people living in the world, went from possibly one trial or one sadness or some struggle or just daily work to another, you know. So I wanted to bring us all in that way into a journey.